I guess I hope you guys can see me. You can hear me clearly. Am I audible? Can you please confirm me once before I start? Okay, please use the chat option so that I'll understand that. Can we start with the today's lecture? Fine. Okay. So let us try to understand about uh, the data engineering. Okay, let's try to understand about that. Just give me a minute. I'm really sorry for the actually I started a little early only, but we got some technical issue. Because of that it got delayed. Fine. uh, Fine. So basically, like, I hope you people have joined and you just want to start your career into the data engineering, and you might be having a lot of questions in your mind that what is data engineering, what is my responsibility as a data engineer. um, so let's try to understand one by one. Okay, fine. So what is data engineer? Okay, as the name suggests, data engineer. Okay, so whenever you people want to start your career, you might have heard about the different technologies. Like the one technology which is quite everyone is aware, we call it a data science. Then you might be heard about data engineer, right? Then we have data analyst. Okay, these are the three technologies you might be heard about it, right? Most of the time. So what does it do? Like, what does it do? See, data science is a big area, you consider that. And among that data science, data engineering is one of the small field, I would say. Okay, data engineering is one of the part of your data science. Okay, so you have a broader level data scientist, data science people will be there, and among them we have a data engineers are available. So what basically we do? Okay, see, in today's world everything is basically on your data only. If someone is asking me that what is the latest technology where I should start my career, so I would say that any technology which contain or which is related to the data, you should definitely look for it. Nowadays, all these big companies like your Amazon, Google, why they are one of the richest company, or why they have a very good business in the market, because Google is having a very huge data, right? So what Google is doing, it is trying to collect the data from you, and then it is using that data to increase the business. I'll give one example. Let's say I'm using this mobile phone. Okay, let's take an example. This is my mobile phone. So when I'm using this mobile phone, whatever I'm discussing, let's say I'm discussing about the iPhone. So when I'm discussing about the iPhone, this Google phone, this phone is listening whatever things I'm discussing. About the Google, we have a Google search console is there, right? We are always giving him the permission to listen. When you say okay Google, it is listening your voice. When you say okay Google, see, as soon as I say okay Google, my phone has started showing me the screen, so he is listening me. Now let's say you are talking about the iPhone, that iPhone 15 is going to be released soon. Okay, when you're saying that okay, iPhone 15 or iPhone 16 is coming in the market, so it will start showing you the ads related to the iPhone 16, right? So basically what it has done, it has collected my data through the voice. So whatever I'm discussing, it has collected that data, and that data has been processed, and finally it is showing me ads, because he know that the Google know that right now I'm mainly interested about the iPhone 15. He is interested about the new version of Apple, which is iPhone 16. I'm interested, right? So let's say I'm using iPhone, currently I'm using iPhone 13, and I'm talking about the iPhone 16 or iPhone 15. Automatically, as soon as it get released, okay, it will start showing me the ads related to the iPhone. So data is very important, guys. Data is very important. And if you have a huge amount of data, you can process that data, and that according to that data, you can increase your business. So what data engineer is doing? Data engineer is mainly responsible to collect the data from different sources. Data engineer is responsible to collect data from different sources. As soon as you got a data from different sources, now what is mean by sources? I'll tell you one example. Now if you take the example of any banking system, okay, so your data might be stored under any RDBMS database. Like let's say I have a data which is coming from any RDBMS database. What are the RDBMS database we have? Like let's say I have a RDBMS database like Oracle or PostgreSQL or any other like MySQL database are there. So I have a data which is coming from my database. I may have a data which is coming from my any application, like let's say CRM application or ERP application. I may have a data which is coming from any sensors, right? Let's take an example of your aircraft, right? So let's say I want to travel from Pune location to Bangalore location by tomorrow. So you will be able to see the probability whether there will be a rain or not, by tomorrow. So probability you can see, right? That is the data scientist work only. So when you have a different sources are there from where you are getting a data. So I'm getting a data from RDBMS. I may get the data from some applications like CRM application, ERP application, some sensors. There might be some web applications are there which will generate some of the log files. So these are the sources from where I'm getting a data. So what this data engineer it will do, it will collect the data from different sources. Like I'll take the data from here, from here. I'm taking the data, I'm collecting the data from different sources, and I'll store that data into the common location. Common location means like I'm getting a data from different sources and I'm putting it into this location. So I have my data over here now. But do you think that this data is very important? See, when I'm getting a data, that data is a raw data. Raw means there might be lot of columns are there which are not important for me. There might be extra columns are there. There might be unnecessary data is there which is not important for me. But first of all, what I will do, I'll take the data from different sources and I'll store it to the any location, right? Then what I will do, as soon as I got a data and I place it into the common location, I'll start filtering out the data. Like we will basically do the processing part. What we will do, we will basically process it. Process means, let's say you are going to filter some data because I'm getting a huge amount of data here, right? But this data is unnecessary for me. I don't need all this data. So I'll do the processing, I'll do the cleaning. I may add some of the new column. There is a chances that I need some extra column. I may write down my new logic over here. So this is basically a processing part. This is basically your processing part. And as soon as my processing is done, as soon as I got my meaningful data, what I will do, I'm going to store that data somewhere. Okay. Then I will use this data for the data visualization. Like normally you take an example of your all the big CEOs, right? Now let's say there is a CEO of any financial company. He want to know that how much business he has done in the last quarter. He want to know how much business he has done in the last quarter. So do you think that he will be able to see in the Excel sheet? Do you think that he will ask you to share me the Excel sheet? No. He want to see that data in the form of bar chart, pie chart, right? In different format, he will be able to see that data. So basically this data you are going to data visualize. You are going to visualize this data. So when you want to visualize this data in the form of bar chart, pie chart, or different chart, for that you need to use some of the tools or utilities like Power BI, right? Power BI, you might be heard about it. So this Power BI is mainly used by the people called data analyst. Okay, so data analyst people are mainly responsible to display your data in the form of graphical user interface, so that by looking to that data, I would say that okay, in Jan month I got more sale, Feb it was down, March it was again very good, then April it is again it is down. So by looking to this chart, you can take a decision. So data engineer, the main responsibility of the data engineer to take the data from the different sources, process it, and finally store the data. So this is a small diagram which I have taken it for you. This is a ETL pipeline. Let me show you that. I'll just copy it and I'll paste it here. I'll discuss about this pipeline. Can I paste it? Fine. Let me show you. This is a small diagram. I find it very useful, and now see this. What you see in this diagram? So this diagram is saying the same thing. We are getting the data from different sources. So this is my source number 1, source number 2, source number 3. As I said, the source can be anything. It can be your RDBMS database, it can be your ERP application, it can be your log file, it can be your census, it can be anything. As soon as you get a data which is a raw data, you are going to first of all store it into the staging area. First of all, you are going to store it, then you are going to transform that data. Okay, I got the data, I got very huge data, but I don't want this huge data, right? I need some meaningful data. So what you will do, you will do the transformation, and finally as soon as you get a meaningful data, you are going to store it into the data warehouse. Now in data warehouse, you have multiple tools and technologies are available, like you discuss about Hive, how to, and then finally you are going to analyze the data and you are going to show this data. As I said, if you want to display the data in the form of graph or anything, we are going to use Power BI. Okay, then we have other utilities are also there, like BI Publishers is there, many other tools are there, but nowadays Power BI is quite famous in the market, which is widely used by the data analyst. Now for this transformation purpose, if you want to do the transformation means, let's say I got a data, let's say I got 1000 records. Among this I have done the filter, and after filter I got only 500 records. Means in the input, this is my input, in the input I got 1000 record, but 1000 is not important for me. So what I will do, I'll start doing the filter and finally I'll get 500. So this transformation you can do it with the help of technology called Spark. Previously we were doing it with the help of MapReduce, and multiple other technologies are using, but Spark is something which is quite famous in the market. So what are all technologies you should be aware, I'll discuss about one by one. But before I proceed to the next level, just wanted to confirm whether you are able to understand. Please say yes or no if you are able to understand, guys. If you are able to understand, can you please say yes or no if you are able to understand in the chat options. Saket is saying yes, Rashmi is saying yes, okay, Vignesh is saying yes, Varun is saying yes, Om is saying yes, Anjana is saying yes, Vignesh is saying yes. Nice, Vignesh. Sagar is saying yes, Srikana, hi, fine. Okay, now this is what we are going to do. Now another thing, now the next part, like you might have a questions like you might have a questions like what are all technologies I should be aware if I want to become a data engineer, right? That will be a question which is coming in your mind. Like if I want to start my career as a data engineer, what are all technologies I should be aware, right? That will be a question which is coming in your mind. So in order to become a data engineer, you should know about the basic, I'm talking about the basic. So earlier people, they were using a Hadoop technology, what we call it as a Hadoop as a big data. Under the big data, we have multiple technologies are there. Among them, Hadoop is one of the technology which we were using previously. In Hadoop, we have multiple components are available. In Hadoop, in this Hadoop ecosystem, we have multiple components are available. Like I'll show you one example. So we have HDFS, we have Hive, we have multiple other things are also there, but nowadays people are not using that. So I'm just going to discuss about the things which are important. Like HDFS is mainly useful for your storage purpose. I told you, right? So when you are getting a data, you are getting a data from different sources. You are storing that data into the staging area, right? So this staging area can be your Hive, can be your HDFS. When you are saying that you are getting a data from different sources and you are storing that data into the some location, that location is your HDFS. Hive is your data warehouse. What is this? This is a data warehouse which is stored your structural kind of data. Structural means, what is meant by structural? What is meant by non-structural? What do you think? Anyone know? What is structural data? What is non-structural data? Anyone know? What do you think, guys? What is structural data? What is structural data? What is non-structural data? What do you think? Anyone know? Okay. So structural data means, if I just say structural data means a data which can be stored in the form of rows and column. The data which is stored in the form of rows and column, that is called structural data. What is meant by structural data? Structural data means a data which can be stored in the form of rows and column, that is called structural data. Now who store the structural data, guys? Who store the structural data? Who store the structural data? A structural data can be stored by the RDBMS database. Like in the RDBMS database, you might have heard about the concept called table, right? So we have ID, name, salary, correct? So this is my structural kind of data. But do you think that every time you will get structural data? No, right? Do you think that every time you will get structural data? No. Sometimes you will get structural data also. Sometimes you will get non-structural data also. Non-structural. Now what is meant by non-structural? Or sometimes you will get semi-structural data also. Semi-structural. Structural data, I know that. Okay, structural data means a data which can be stored in the form of rows and column. So sometimes you may get a data in the form of CSV. Sometimes you may get a data directly from the RDBMS database. Sometimes you may get a data from the XML, JSON. So this XML and JSON is basically your semi-structural data. It is a semi-structural. Sometimes you may get a data in the form of log file, trace file. This is your unstructured data or non-structural data. So if I get any type of data from sources, what I said, if I get any type of data from the sources, I am responsible to process that. Who is responsible to process? Data engineer. So if I get structural data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, my responsibility as a data engineer to process that data. And that is possible with the help of your big data technologies and Spark also. Spark. So previously we were using a processing framework called MapReduce. Earlier, whenever you want to do the processing means, I told you, right? Let's say you want to write down any logic, you want to filter the data, you want to add a new column. For processing purpose, earlier we were using MapReduce. This is the old technology, but now it has been replaced by the Apache Spark. Apache Spark. Now it has been replaced by Apache Spark. So if you want to start your career as a data engineer, you should know this, obviously HDFS, Hayu. You might be very much powerful in the Apache Spark also. Now this Spark is a, what is this framework? This is a processing framework. Like when you want to write down any logics, joins, right? This Spark can be written with multiple language. If you want to use Spark, you can use Python also, you can use Java also, you can use R also, you can use Scala also. These are the different language you can use. If you want to use this Spark technology, you can do it along with the Python. And Python and Spark combination, we called it as a PySpark. What we call PySpark. So if you see any vacancies coming for PySpark developer, that is basically your, this is the part I'm talking about. If you see any vacancies coming for PySpark, that is a data engineer only. That is a data engineer. Till now, are you able to understand, everyone? Till now, whatever I am discussing, can you please confirm me once? Karthik is saying yes, Mayur is saying yes, Sagar is saying yes, Nisha is saying yes, Sarai is saying yes, Priyanka is saying yes, Sagar is saying yes, Vignesh is saying yes, Srikant is saying yes, Viniji is saying yes, Rashmi is saying yes. Nice. Ankita is saying yes. Great. RK is saying yes. Fine. So that's how it works. Okay. Now nowadays, if I am talking about the current situation, as I said, 3-4 things are very important. Like you should be aware about the Hadoop, because this is something which will give you core concept how data engineer works. Second thing will be your inside the Hadoop, you should be aware about your Hayu. Then we have a concept like HDFS. Then you should be aware about the Spark, and Spark we are taking it along with Python. So in our training we are taking it Python. So you should be strong with the Python also. Okay, that is third thing. Nowadays, what happened? These data engineering services are provided by the multiple cloud platform. Like, what are the different cloud platforms are available in the market? Can you tell me? What are the different cloud platforms are available in the market? Who are the cloud provider? Who are the cloud providers? Who are those people who provide the cloud? So we have a cloud providers like GCP, Azure, AWS, and like others. But among them, this for data engineering, these two platforms are very, very important. These two platforms are very, very important. You might be heard about Azure data engineer, GCP data engineer, right? AWS data engineer is also there, but Azure and GCP nowadays quite famous in the market. Okay, so what we are planning to do when we are starting this training, we will not only just cover our core concept of big data engineer or data engineer, we are going to discuss this along with the GCP plus Azure also. We are going to cover GCP plus Azure data engineer. So if you see any vacancies coming for GCP data engineer, if you see any vacancies coming for Azure, you can apply for this also. So we are not only just talking about GCP, means it's a Google Cloud platform. Those people who are new, GCP is Google Cloud. Okay, very limited people are there in the market nowadays. I'm telling you. See, in Azure you will find a lot of people coming, but for GCP very limited people are there. A lot of vacancies are available. So it is good time to start learning about the Google Cloud platform. Already lot of people are available in the market for Azure also. Okay, data engineering career is very, very good, because I personally work with this data engineer along with these other technologies like Oracle DBA and all. Okay, so GCP is quite famous nowadays, Earlier it was Azure. Again, Azure is having a very good scope also, there is no problem, but Azure is having a lot of resources available. AWS, I see, like, for data engineering it is not that good. Okay, yeah, but for other services, it is really really good. Okay, so we are starting our new batch of data engineer. Okay, where we are going to discuss about this data engineer along with this GCP plus Azure also we are going to cover, plus all your data engineering concept, like your Python, Spark, Hadoop and everything which I discussed earlier. Okay, so if you have any questions, yeah, Databricks is already there. When I say Databricks and all, this will be covered under this. Okay, Databricks and everything will be covered under this. Okay, so anyone have any questions, queries, anything, you can raise your hand. I'll unmute you and you can discuss about this. Anyone want to ask the question? Let me unmute you guys. Okay, so if you have any questions, queries, you can ask the question, and there is a Google form available in the chat options. You can fill up this Google form also. So if you have any questions regarding the training, so we are starting this training from this week only. Okay, and we'll start from the very basic. Along with this, we are also giving SQL and Linux free of cost. Okay, so that is a complimentary courses we are providing this. Actually, data engineer, how are you providing certificate for this course? Yes, once we are done with the trainings, you will get the certifications for this course also. Who will be the trainer? So there will be two trainers for this course. So some of the modules will be conducted by me, and the GCP related modules will be conducted by our Learnomate trainer. Okay, so if you want to know about the trainer, you can see our previous demo which are already available on the YouTube channel. You can see that.
So can you please provide link for that?
That demo you are saying, the second demo,
Yes, yes, yes.
you can, I'll show you that. If you go to our YouTube channel, so this is our YouTube channel with the name Learnomate Technologies. Currently we have 41,000 followers available on our YouTube channel, and GCP now. Okay, let me see. So data engineer by Spark. Where is that? I'll check that and I'll provide you guys somewhere it should be.
And also, what is the duration and the cost of this course?
The duration of the course will be around 2.5 months. Okay. Yeah, so you can see from here.
Okay.
If you see here, I'll share this link.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please check that.
There are a couple of questions, sir.
Yeah.
I, I said that though in the mention that you are also covering SQL and MongoDB.
Not MongoDB, I said Linux.
What do you mean by complementary? In the sense, won't those classes be live, or it would be pre-recorded, self-paced?
No. Live. Everything is live. We do not give anything pre-recorded.
Okay, good, great. And second thing is that so you in the brochure it's written 4 months. So you are saying 2.5 months. So how is that? It's like almost cut to half.
Which one you are saying? Where?
4 months. Okay, data engineering batch coming soon. 3 months, 4 months. It's written
Where it is mentioned?
uh, on the flyer, on the brochure that you have shared. 3 months.
Well, let me see, because there are two. See, the last batch what we have taken here, in that our main focus was Azure Data Engineer. Okay. So this time what we are thinking that, because when I see the trend of the data engineer, in that trend I see that the people are talking about GCP more, because many of my friends colleagues, they are working with the clients like HSBC. They have coming with the Azure data, they are coming with the GCP data engineer. Now when you see the 4 months or 3 months over there, right, this will include your SQL and Linux training also, which is complementary, that we didn't add it in that. Okay,
But it will be live, then it will.
it is a live only, it is a live only. Okay, nothing is pre-recorded.
Answer thing is that, and also, so if one talks about if somebody wants to become a big data engineer, so the technologies would be different or it would be
No,
same.
no, no. See, that is the confusion which I see in the market.
Okay.
See, when I started my career as a data engineer, na, people were not calling it as a data engineer also. They were calling it as a Hadoop developer basically. They were calling it as a, see, what is the difference between big data and Hadoop first of all? So big data is a problem. Like I'll tell you one example. Let's say I have a laptop which is having 8 GB RAM. I have a laptop with 8 GB RAM. So it means in my 8 GB RAM, I can run maximum 3-4 applications. So when I'm running 3-4 applications, my laptop is running smoothly. But what happened now? Immediately I got a situation that I need to run 10 applications at a time. So do you think that I can run 10 applications with the 8 GB RAM? No.
No.
Because earlier I was running 3 applications only, but now my requirement has been changed to 10 applications. So that data which is not processed by my laptop, that is a big data for me, correct? That is a big data for my laptop. That 10 applications are a big data. So big data is a problem, correct? Big data is a problem. So what is the solution? So solution was provided like Hadoop. Hadoop was a framework which is a solution to run your 10 applications at a time. Who has provided that? So this is actually derived from the Google. Earlier Google file system was there, because Google is having huge amount of data. So Google know the solution. So they have released the white paper, and by looking to that white paper, this Hadoop technologies has been derived. But there in the Hadoop, like I'll show you one example. Since you asked me, I am very curious to tell about that story also. If you see the Hadoop ecosystem, like I might have here, just give me a minute. Okay, if you see my Hadoop ecosystem, this is a diagram. If you see here, now under this Hadoop ecosystem, we have multiple components are available, correct? So among them, this is the MapReduce which I was talking about, data processing purpose.
That's right.
Data processing means, like let's say I want to filter some data. So we were filtering it by using MapReduce. Now let's say I want to store my data. So I was using HDFS. So there were multiple tools were there under Hadoop ecosystem. I was talking about the Hive when I want to store a structural kind of data. Scoop is mainly useful when I want to take the data from RDBMS. Let's say I have a data available in Oracle and I'm going to take it under the Hadoop ecosystem. So I was using Scoop. So for small work, they have developed small utilities, you consider like that. Now all these things is not available in the market. Means in the current scenario, I'm talking about maybe 4-5 years back story, where people were calling it as a Hadoop developer. So when I'm starting my career as a Hadoop developer, I should be aware about these technologies, these tools and utilities. But nowadays, these tools and utilities were having some issues, like it was slow. These tools were, it was very slow. And for small thing, I need to use different tools, right? So they have come up with the new technology called Spark, Apache Spark. They have come up. Okay. Now this Apache Spark is doing everything with the single thing. This means Apache Spark is a single person who is doing most of the thing. Most of the things means, like you don't need Scoop also, and he is a very powerful technology. So nowadays, forget about this peak, no one is using that, this mouth. Nowadays we mostly use this HDFS and then Hive, these two things only. So these things we are going to cover under Hadoop ecosystem. Now when you say that big data developer, so big data is a technology. Under big data we have multiple technologies are there, like you can call it as a Spark developer, you can call it as a Hadoop developer, you can call it as a data engineer. In data engineer also, since data engineering is available on different cloud platform, people are calling it as a GCP data engineer, Azure data engineer, AWS data engineer. So multiple names are there. Even in Spark, people are calling it as a Spark developer also. If you are writing the Spark with Python, they are calling it as a PySpark developer. So name are different, but everyone is doing the same thing. You got my point? What I'm trying to say, everyone?
Yes. Yes, sir. Can you show me the Hadoop ecosystem once again, sir? The diagram that you were showing. So, sir, you are saying that in Hadoop system we are just going to learn Hive and HDFS, which is the storage file, and Hive is for data processing, right?
Data warehouse, it kind of data.
Snowflake and all, just like Snowflake and all. So that means we are not going to cover Ooze, Scoop, Flume,
Because Uzi was a old platform. Nowadays people are using
Airflow. Okay,
Airflow they are using, or in GCP we already have a scheduler.
okay,
That scheduler we are going to cover. We are not going to cover the old technology. We are going to cover scheduler, because Uzi is a scheduler, Airflow is a scheduler. So we are going to cover related to the GCP service which schedule the job.
okay, got it. And what's the alternative for Scoop, Flume, and HBase?
Scoop is mainly useful when you want to retrieve your data from your RDBMS. Now this Scoop work is already done by Spark only. Spark itself can do that.
Got it. And Flume and HBase is
Flume is basically your kind of real-time what do you say? Streaming kind of services. So that is like a Kafka and all. Okay.
okay,
Nowadays Kafka we are using. So Kafka this is not a part of our syllabus. Kafka is a separate training.
okay. Kafka is separate thing. So okay, and HBase is just
It's a
like
NoSQL database. Like
so we are covering MongoDB in this.
no, we are covering SQL only. Okay. MongoDB earlier we used to cover, but some project they use, some project they don't use. So it's not required that. So SQL we are covering, that is like generic for everyone.
Okay, got it. And so Kafka, Apache Kafka, we are not including in this training,
No,
but
no,
we are.
no.
Hello.
Yeah, no, we are not covering Apache Kafka.
Oh, but okay, Airflow we are covering, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And answer one last thing. In Databricks, you talked about Databricks. I know that Databricks can be used with anything. It can be used with GCP, Azure, or AWS, anything. But it is very good. Or rather, it works seamlessly with Azure better. Otherwise, it can be used anything. So, are we going after doing Databricks? Can we also target the Databricks certification? Are you covering Delta Lake? Are you covering salting? Are you covering concepts like persist, coalesce?
Yeah,
Uh,
that is a part of your Spark only. Nothing to do means, see, the 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 functions which you are going to write down under the Databricks, the same thing you can write down under your Apache Spark also. That is a Spark only internally. Okay. So you are talking about your coalesce is there, repartition is there,
we're going to
everything
use
we are going to cover.
cover. Okay, great. And so after the course, sir, can we target Azure to DP203 certification and Databricks certification? Can we crack that? Because though certification is just a piece of paper, but it does attract eyeballs.
If you want to clear any certification, we can help you in that.
Okay, got it, got it. And sir, one last thing. Have you discontinued AWS altogether? Because in your AWS certification, I saw Kafka and other things because there are two. I don't know. So you have discontinued AWS or you have just got a on these.
AWS, I don't see many vacancies are coming for data engineer basically. So that if like we already have a AWS training, that is a separate training. Those who want to go for the AWS certification, that is a separate 3 months of training. But
Okay,
that is not specific to the data engineer. That is like overall everything.
that overall everything means data engineer as well as architect and everything.
Everything. It will start from EC to your IM role. Everything will be covered in that. That is a separate training.
Okay, got it, got it. Perfect.
Ankush, this is Omkar.
Yes, tell me.
See, I have a basic doubt. Right now, a person working on cloud and DevOps who did not get chance to work on data side. So you mean data engineer would be the right path, or ML ops side will be the right path? Can you?
I think that any person who is quite good with the mathematics or analytical skills, they can try for data science or this ML side. That is fine. Any person who is quite good with SQL, okay, or some basic knowledge of Python, they can try to make their hands dirty on data engineering side also. I have seen many people, they are starting with data analyst. So they start with data analyst, then they gradually move towards the data engineering, they move, or they will directly move to the data scientist. Okay. So it's your choice if you think that, but this deep learning or machine learning, whatever things you are talking now, that is quite tricky. So any person who is coming from like, let's take example DevOps. So DevOps, you don't need to write down any code also, right? But when it comes to the data scientist now, your logic should be very strong actually. When I say logic, your analytical skills, your coding skill set, it should be very strong. Your machine learning algorithms should be very, very strong. Your mathematical skills, your statistics should be very strong when you want to. So normally what data scientist people will do, they start with the data analyst or data engineer, get some experience with this technology, and then move towards the data scientist.
Okay, okay.
And sir,
So,
so this same course is offline and online. So different classes for it, or it is going to be at the same time. Offline students would be sitting in the class in the classroom, and online students will be taking the class on the
On
screen.
So all the modules will not be offline. Okay. The GCP trainer what we have, he is coming from different location, so that GCP part will be your online, and your other part which I'm going to cover, like your big data technologies, SQL, Linux, that will be offline. And when it is offline people can like sit, and they can also listen it from their home also, like it is just like a hybrid.
Mhm. And if we have any doubts, then after the class, how it is going to be solved the next day? For example, I take the lecture and I get stuck somewhere. I'm not able to, let's say, I know about AWS more, so I'm talking about, so then I am not able to create EC2 instance, or I'm not able to create a AMR instance. In AMR we can run Hive, Scoop, anything we want. So I'm not able to get a cluster or cluster instance. So who's going to help me?
You
And
can
and
ask after the class, there is no problem.
okay. So in between the trainer in the day, if I am practicing, somebody would be there to guide me.
The trainer availability is like, if I am the trainer for my module, I can do that, but everyone is working, so we need to see their timing also. For my technology especially, like we do that. For my Oracle DBA, we do that. We have a dedicated support team is there, but this technology is quite new in the market, so everyone doesn't know about this. So you need to reach out to the trainer only, or maybe in the class, or what we can do, like we will keep a separate day where we will just discuss about the challenges or whatever things you are having. That way we can try.
Uh, and for Databricks and Azure, you are the trainer, correct? Is that correct?
No, he is going to take care of that.
Okay.
So
The
Spark most probably I'll be taking. Spark most probably I'll be taking.
okay, got it. Thank you.
so along with the Hadoop ecosystem tools which we are going to cover, so are we also going to cover the end tools for the data tools project in the GCP like Composer, Dataflow?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And secondly, like you talked, you mentioned about the Python. Does it include only the basic knowledge, or it's a basic to
Basic, no,
complete?
yeah, but that will be no, that will be basic knowledge only. Because see, I'll tell you one example. If we go in the depth of Python now, the main problem is that we have a separate training for Python which is running for 3 months. Now if we are learning, if we are making you to learn about the Python for 3 months, then when we are going to cover up the data engineering course, that is a problem. So we also want to cover everything, but that is not possible within this 3 months of timeline. It is not possible. So that's the main challenge. Because yeah, again, if you want to learn in depth everything, uh, then we need to see our fee structure also, like the way people are charging like 80,000 and 90,000 for 6 months of course. But here it's quite difficult to ask people.
Okay.
You understand as a business owner, right, what is the challenge?
Yeah.
So that's the challenge. Even I personally think that we should have a Python for 3 months, but again, like, the challenges are there.
But sir, when you said that we are not going to get in depth of Python, so what do you think? Would there be a challenge in the work? For example, people who are not coming from the IT background, and if we are not covering in depth, so are we going to face challenges when we are like really working on real time projects? Then if we do not have really good knowledge of Python, will we be able to solve the projects, or is it like whatever you tell is enough to sail through to
You
do any?
see, you need to understand one thing, that training is not about the real time challenges. Okay, I don't know whether how many trainings you have taken till now. Training is all about which will provide the platform to you to make you understand about the technologies. So challenges can be different when you are working with the real, because I personally work with a different companies for 12 years. So I have also taken a training from different institute many times. So when I'm learning any concept, do you think that I'll get the same challenges in my, because that's a development. Every time you will face a different challenges. So when you take the trainings, you need to understand the core of it, and by using that core you need to troubleshoot the issues on your own. On that time, none of the trainer is going to come and save you. You need to use your own logic. It's not like just copy paste from the training and you are going to resolve the problem. Anyway, fine guys, I think I need to jump to another meeting. Okay, so those people who are interested, they can reach out to the team. And thank you so much for joining. How many days per week we will be having class? So this is like 5 days training. Okay, it's like 5 days training, daily 1 hour.
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday, correct.
Thank you.
What else we have, and what is the use of data engineer? Okay, thanks. So those people who are interested, they can fill up the form also. The form link is available. If you want to know more about us, you can check the YouTube channel. You can check the maybe you can check reviews also. We have 3 branches. Okay, if you are listening for the first time, let me talk about our company. So we have 3 branches are available. 2 branches are available in the Pune locations. One is in Bhumkar Chowk, Wakad, Pune. Second one is in Kadiwadi, Fata. Third, we have an office available in the Hyderabad location. And yeah, we do provide trainings on different technologies. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed the today's session. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Bye bye.